And we welcome you to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, joined along by Chad Fry, our play-by-play announcer for tonight's game. Chad, the Newton Rebels will be taking on the Rose Hill Sluggers here this evening. And the Sluggers come in with a 12-4 record. They are tied for second place. Your Rebels come in with a record of 6-10 in league play and 9-10 overall. So they start a 4-game series here with the Rose Hill Sluggers.
Yes, we do, and we've got Yukihiro Muto on the mound this evening for the Rebels to start things off, and hopefully that means good things. We've seen good things out of him in action earlier this season, and we've also got some new additions to the roster today. One of those would be Kyle Corper, who's going to be playing out in left field today. He's, he's the University of Washington product, the Husky, coming over to Kansas to play some baseball. And if memory serves, we've also got one of Enzo Bonventre's teammates from college joining us today as well. And I'm skimming my roster here to get that right.
Center fielder number 16, Andrew Patton.
Yes, yeah, from Lake Erie University. So some new faces in the Rebel lineup this evening as we take a look at trying to move up the standings just a little bit in league play.
Well, this 4-game series is very important. I think after this we play the Cheney Diamond Dogs, and we still got Great Bend to play. So it's coming down to the wire. We're going to go ahead and go through the starting lineups as we get started here. First of all, leading off for Rose Hill. Leading off will be the second baseman, number 3, Mason Hartman. Batting second will be the catcher, number 26, Zach Baxley. Batting third, the right fielder, number 42, Hunter Gibson. Batting fourth, playing first base, will be number 33, Garrett Kosas. Batting fifth and DH, number 17, Jackson Detail. Batting sixth and playing third base will be number 5, Adam Teese. Batting seventh and playing center field will be number 31, Will Reitz. Batting eighth and playing left field, number 15, Kelsey Weems. Batting ninth and playing shortstop, number 11, Matt Johnson. And pitching will be number 24, Tanner Ostum. We are going to take a small break as we have the national anthem now being played. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. Chad Fry, you'll have the starting lineups for the Newton Rebels.
Yeah, starting things off for the Rebels will be Lachlan Ross playing second base. He'll be followed by Nolan O'Reilly, who's playing third today. Lincoln Andrews, the first baseman, will be batting third. DH will be Enzo the Boom Bonventre. Kyle Corper will be batting 5. Thank you. It's been a day. Fifth in the lineup. He'll be playing out in left. Batting sixth will be Andrew Brotman, who will be playing shortstop today. Joey Martinez, playing out in right field, will be batting seventh. Andrew Patton will be batting in the 8th slot, and he'll be playing center field. And Hibiki Uchi, your catcher, will be cleaning it up in the 9 hole. So taking a look at David Muto, he is, 5'7", 209 pounds, out of Japan, and just finishing up his community college career right now. And the last time we saw him was against the Wichita Grays that a 10-5 win on behalf of the Rebels. He pitched 2 innings in that game, gave up 2 hits, walked 1, struck out 3 in 8 batters faced. So, and on the season, he's 0 for 2 in 3 appearances. He's got a total of 3.2 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts, 6 walks, and 6 hits. So hopefully he can find himself a rhythm early here and get himself a quality start, which is one of the things lacking on his stat line so far this season. Mason Hartman will start things off for
Rose Hill Sluggers.
Yeah, for the Sluggers. He is batting .366 in 10 games so far for the Sluggers. These Sluggers have, as I looked at the standings here a little bit, five losses, 4 of them all coming to the same team. That would be the Diamond Dogs, who are undefeated in league play so far.
Yeah, they're 16-0 so far here this season.
So Muto will prepare to deliver the first pitch of this contest. And it's a called strike, knee high, right over the inside corner to Mason Hartman. Pitch is upstairs. And that'll be ball 1. 1-1 now, the count. And if you would so desire, you can follow this on the point streak. They're live scoring there tonight. Up and in, count is 2-1. Pitch goes down towards the dirt, and we go to the hitter's count of 3-1 in favor of Mason Hartman. And they'll walk him on 5 pitches. That'll bring up Zach Baxley, the catcher, wearing number 26 today for the Sluggers. So a runner at first, none away, as Muto is preparing to face Baxley. First pitch is up and in, and that's 1-0. Runner going with the pitch. The pitch is high, but they're going to get him at second. That's a caught stealing. Absolutely perfect throw from Hibiki Uchi.
Boy, that was right on the bag, wasn't it?
Yeah, that you can't ask for a better throw than that, and if you did, you wouldn't get it. Baxley, a .481 hitter with 2 home runs this season, now has no runners on in a 2-0 count. Pops him up in foul territory. Lincoln Andrews will make the catch just in front of the dugout on the first base side, and just like that, there's 2 away. Hunter Gibson now coming to the plate. Gibson is batting .416 this season, 20 for 48 overall with 4 home runs and 14 RBIs. Called strike. Gibson not overly excited by the call. He thought it was low, but the umpire believes it caught the front knee. That one is low, and the count will go to 1-1. Little looper will fall inside the right field line. That'll get chased down by Martinez out in right field. And sent to the cutoff man at second. And that'll be a single for Hunter Gibson. Swing and a miss to open the at-bat for Garrett Kosas. He's 16 for 42 on the year. That equates to a 380 batting average. He's got 6 dingers and 11 RBIs. This pitch right down the middle, but too low. Muto wanted the strike, but it was low, and the count goes to 1-1. Swing and a miss from Kosas, and the count will go to 1-2. Pitch is inside. Uchi considers a snap throw to first, but holds on to it. And the count will go to evens. 2-2 your count. There's 2 away right now. And a runner at first. Kosas will foul this one right back into Uchi's mitt. He was unable to keep a hold of it. And we'll stay at 2-2. 2-2 count with 2 away here in the first, and the runner at second now after a stolen base. Count goes to full as the pitch is high and wide. Pitch comes inside, and that'll be a walk. Second walk of the ball game issued by Muto. And that'll bring up Jackson Deedle.
And Chad, this is where the Newton Rebels have been getting themselves in trouble in the early innings, especially with 2 down, giving up walks like that.
Gets him to chase a high breaking ball, and the count will go 0-1. Stays high, and with a breaker, this time Deedle will get a piece of it, but the count will go to 0-2. He's batting .310 on the season. That's 9 for 29 overall. 1 dinger, 5 RBIs. Ground ball up towards short. Barehanded throw. Got him at first. Beautiful play by Andrew Brotman.
Great job there by Brotman as he hustled in. You know, the grass here at Newton is awful thick, and he really came in strong, made a good, he barehanded it and threw right across his body to first base for that third out.
So the result of that is no runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. We'll head to the bottom of the first with a tie score. Tonight's major sponsor of Newton Rebels baseball is Shamrock Car Wash. We thank Shamrock Car Wash for their sponsorship this year and every year. And Tanner Olmstead coming out to work first here for the Sluggers. He's 6'1", 220 pounds. Calls Wichita, Kansas his home. He's got a 1-1 record on the year with a 1.12 ERA in 2 games. He's started both of those games. He's pitched 8 innings, struck out 7, walked 2, and allowed 7 hits. So he's made people earn it, and that means the Rebels are going to have to earn it today. Lachlan Ross will lead things off for the Newton Rebels here in the first. First pitch to Ross will be a called strike just under the hands. And Ross will loft a fly ball to right field, and that will be caught. Gibson camps underneath that ball. And that'll bring up Nolan Riley.
This is only Riley's 6th ball game played. He has played 5, been up to bat 13 times, has 4 hits, and has scored 2 runs.
Takes a called strike. Inside corner of the plate. He's a big boy, 6'2", 195 pounds. out of Arkansas Fort Smith. And calls Augusta, Kansas home. That about 40 minutes from here. Junior will foul one away. It's an 0-2 count. He'll think about chasing a high fastball, but leaves off of it, and count will go to 1-2.
Well, Chad, you think he's big. Got to see Carl Corper.
I can't wait to see Carl Corper.
He's 6'4", 230-pounder.
We were joking around earlier that we wonder if Coach Clark brought us a linebacker instead of a baseball player, but we will see what the young man has to offer a little later. 1-2 count. Pops him up, foul, out of play. Of course, when you're 5'2" and a quarter like I am, everybody looks like a big boy. So, fly ball into foul territory down the right field line. That will fall to the turf. Gibson gave chase, but was then able to get to that ball and will stay at 1-2.
That was a nice hit there by Riley as he went with the pitch, and it just happened to go foul on him, but he did a nice job there staying with that pitch.
Took that ball the other way, which is always a nice thing to see. And we'll set the 1-2 pitch again. Comes inside. He gets around on that one, and that's going to be fouled down the third base side. Pretty well hit baseball.
Yeah, he had very good timing on that.
Bouncer down towards third, and it'll just tail foul. Man, if that line was just a hair to the left, that'd have been a fair ball. Right over the bag, but it doesn't strike fair territory, and we'll go to that 1-2 count again.
And Chad, we want to welcome all our watchers. We got 23 people watching right now, whether you're a Rebel fan or a Slugger fan.
Fouls this one back to the screen. We stay at 1-2. Pitch goes in the dirt. We go to 2-2. Yeah, well, thanks for joining us. I know it's a difficult time period. You don't know if you should show up to the ballpark or not. You know, just south of us in Sedgwick County, they got crowd rules of 45 people or less fouled back to the screen. No such thing here in Harvey County, at least not right now. They declared community spread for Harvey County today and had one of the largest caseloads of COVID-19 in the county since the disease began spreading in the United States. So we'll see what our lawmakers have in store for us over the course of the next little bit. That's my primary job duty right there. So watching those guys, and the next meeting that might affect Rebels baseball will be Tuesday. Line shot, foul, and we stay at 2-2.
Boy, Nolan Riley's really got a great swing, doesn't he, Chad?
Yes, and he is battling hard. He's seen about 9 pitches so far in this at-bat. And a lot of those pitches came with 2 strikes on him. Right back up the middle towards second. The throw to first will be in time. Riley puts the ball in play to win the battle, but he loses the war when he gets thrown out. That was a pretty excellent play by Hartman over there at second base.
Yeah, he came a long ways and had to throw that across his body, and he did a good job.
Lincoln Andrews now at the plate, taking ball 1 off the plate outside to the lefty.
Speaking of a big boy, Andrews is 6'4", 215 pounds.
Yep. Ground ball towards short. Cross the diamond. That'll do it. 1, 2, 3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left, and we'll head to the top of 2 with this game tied at 0s. Take a moment to thank some sponsors, most notably Dr. Brett A. Roofs, DDS. We also want to thank Pouch Enterprises and Boston Insurance, Conradi Insurance Group with Dan Heinze, and a new sponsor this year, Duty Work, a company here locally that's dedicated to removing pet waste. I want to thank Realty Connections, Roofing Services Unlimited, Specialty Roofing Services Unlimited. They sponsor both of my son's baseball teams as well.
There you go.
Shamrock Car Wash, which is our major sponsor today. Peyton Paw, Attorneys at Law. Affordable Autos in Wichita. Remax Associates of Newton, especially Alex Carbajal. He sponsored my son's team last year. Tim Marler and family. Saw Tim just the other day. Carl Hodges, the founder. And also want to thank John and Lori Oldham, the Newton Rec Commission, Bob Burke at Buy Local, and also Ray Roofing. We'll run through host families in another one of our breaks in the action. But again, thanks to all those folks for their sponsorship of Newton Rebel Baseball. We wouldn't be able to do it without you. Especially in years like this one where people don't really want to come to the ballpark. There's not a whole lot of revenue opportunities, and that's the big one right there. Those folks that sponsor these ball games and allow these players to play in the summer. Due up will be Adam Thies, Will Reitz, and Kelsey Weems.
Thies comes in at 5'11", 185-pounder from Wichita, Kansas.
Yes, and I remembered him from a year ago. He was playing for the Sluggers. And if I remember it, that's a bad thing for the Rebels. Base hit, and he will be on after a single and now double as he stretches that to a double, showing off some wheels. I think we figured out why I remember him. And that'll bring up Will Reitz, who's playing center field today. So with none away, there's a runner in scoring position. And Will Reitz coming to the plate. Fouls this one down the third base side. And the count will go to 0-1. Pitch is upstairs. Count goes to 1-1 as Muto misses. Reitz batting .294. That's 10 for 34 on the season with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs. This is a pop fly into shallow left center field. And it'll be dropped. Corper had to go a long way to get to that ball, and the end result is it dropping to the turf.
Yeah, Rotman, the shortstop, was backing up, and he's kind of stopped, thinking that the outfielders are going to get it, and so that Corper saw that, and he had to hustle, but was not able to get to it. So it falls in for another hit, I believe.
One of those Bermuda triangles on the diamond, and as it turns out, hindsight's 20/20 on who should make the play. That'll be an infield fly. Lincoln Andrews will make it interesting on the catch, but the catch really didn't matter. The dude was out anyway.
Yep.
And with runners at first and second and one away, now Matt Johnson coming to the plate. Shortstop for the Sluggers today. Pitch comes well inside to Johnson to open the at-bat, and it's 1-0. Bounces this one in front of the plate. Well played by Uchi.
Uchi is a good thinking catcher back there behind the plate, and great defensive work there by Uchi.
Yeah, he's been very fundamentally sound every ball game we've seen him. 184, the batting average at the plate right now.
Uh-oh.
And just as I say that, he throws the snap throw to third into the outfield. So E2 will allow Thies to score after the stolen base. And it allows Reitz over to second, and the Rebs now down by a run. And again, there's one away. Now there's a runner at second. And Johnson at the plate. Johnson batting 184 on the season, and he will walk.
Well, I got a chance to call the game the other night at Wichita State University as they had the Sunflower Collegiate League baseball at the Eck, and the Sluggers played against the Seeds, and they probably had about 8 stolen bases. So
they got some wheels.
They do.
Mason Hartman now coming to the plate, his second appearance of the ball game. Ball is upstairs, well above his head, and the count goes to 1-0. Runners at first and second. 1 run has scored in this half. Pitch in the dirt. We go to 2-0 on Mason Hartman. Hartman was able to work his way into a walk in the first inning before getting caught stealing for the first out of the first. Misses upstairs, just a little too tall, and the count goes to 3-0. Strike called. Count goes to 3-1 as Muto finds the inside corner. Line shot towards third. It'll be plucked right out of the air, and a double play opportunity goes by the wayside as the throw was off. Riley was able to get 1 out, but was unable to get the second. Zach Baxley now coming to the plate. He flew out in foul territory in his first appearance of this ball game. Pitch in the dirt, well played by Uchi, and it's 1-0. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-1. Fly ball out into left. That's going to head over everybody's head. 2 runs will score as it bounces to the wall. That'll be a double for Zach Baxley.
On that play there, Corper came in a step and then realized that was going to be deeper, so he backed up, but by that time it was too late.
Yeah, he was made a bad read on the ball, and that kind of thing happens, but sloppy defense has been quite costly in this half inning for the Newton Rebels. They are now down by 3. Hunter Gibson now at the plate. He singled in his first appearance, takes ball 1. Just a little too low, right below the knees, and the count will go to 2-0 on Hunter Gibson. Called strike. Right at the knees on the inside corner. Grounds this one foul, and the count will even at 2-2. Wild pitch will allow the runner to third.
Well, we definitely don't need another one of those with the man standing now at third base.
Truer words have never been spoken. Full count now with 2 away. And the walk will be granted. Garrett Kosis now coming to the plate. He drew a walk in the first. Muto's issued 4 walks in this ball game thus far. Strike 1 will open the at-bat. Muto comes set and delivers. Pitches inside, throw to second. Now the throw come. Oh my goodness gracious! Well high.
That's the second time in the 2 games now that has worked.
And that'll be an error. Third. 1, 2, 3. I've got 3 errors charged this half inning.
All this with 2 down.
Yeah. And 4 runs have now crossed the plate. Ground ball towards first. Played by Lincoln Andrews. He'll step on first. 3 unassisted. So 3 runs on 2 hits, 3 errors, and a runner left in the second. And the Rebs give up a kind of a big inning by self-destructing.
So at the end of 1.5, it is Sluggers 4 and the Rebels 0. Just that quickly, Chad. Like I say, we did that. They did that with 2 outs.
Frank, remind me never to speak about fundamentally sound defense again. I guess I'll take the blame for that, but we'll call it the announcer's curse. Due up for the Rebels will be Corporal Brotman and Martinez, and Olmstead coming back out to work the second. He was able to work a 3 up, 3 down, though everybody made contact with the baseball in the first. And I need to take a little bit of a break and go do my day job for a bit. I'm going to leave you in Frank's capable hands.
All right.
And I'm going to go shoot some photos.
We'll be right back then. And we do welcome you back to the Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the bottom half of the second inning. The score is 4-0 in favor of Rose Hill. They scored 4 runs in the top half of the second inning. Due up for the Newton Rebels, designated hitter number 17, Enzo the Boom Bonventry hits to the shortstop. Johnson goes to first for out number 1. So a 6-3 put out for the first out. 1 pitch, 1 out. It's going to bring up the new player here for the Newton Rebels. Taking a good look at him, a left fielder number 10, Carl Corper. A 6'4", 230-pounder. Left-handed batter. And here's Olmstead's first pitch to him. Is ball 1. 1 ball, no strikes with 1 out here in the bottom half of the second inning. 4-0 favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. Ball popped up into the infield. Third baseman able to get under it and makes the catch for out number 2. Nice job there by Adam Tice, correction. So a fly out to the third baseman will now give us 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. That will bring up the shortstop number 1, Andrew Brotman. Brotman comes in batting .286. He's appeared in 19 ball games, has been up to bat 77 times, has 22 hits, and has scored 14 runs. Also has 11 RBIs. That one popped foul. on the right-hand side. So the count goes 0-2 now to Brotman, as we have 2 down here in the bottom half of the second inning. Once again, if you're just now joining us, it is 4-0 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. And here's Homestead's pitch, missing high for ball 1. So the count now goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. The Newton Rebels will be away for the next 2 nights, as they will be playing Saturday and Sunday. Instead of Rose Hill, they'll be playing at Westside Athletic Field in Wichita. That's called strike 3 on the outside corner. So Homestead records his first strikeout of the ball game and the third out of this inning. So the bottom half of the second inning for the Newton Rebels, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 2 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 4 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the third inning, and we're going to have a new pitcher now for the Newton Rebels coming in to pitch. Looks like it's going to be number 51, and that would be Mr. Bolt Jackson, Jordan Bolt Jackson, a 6'3", 200-pounder from Southwestern College, where he's a sophomore. His hometown is San Diego, California. And we'd like to say hi to Jordan's parents, Rhea and Sylvester. Rhea Bolt and Sylvester Jackson. And sisters, Jessica and Jennifer. We welcome you to the telecast if you're tuned in. We hope you enjoy it. First batter he'll be facing for the Sluggers will be the designated hitter, number 17, Jackson Dito. And we'll give you the final numbers here for Yukihiro David Muto. Looks like Yukihiro went 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, 4 runs, 1 earned run, 4 base on balls, no strikeouts, as he faced 13 batters. Count now goes to 1 ball, 1 strike now to Dito. Tice on deck and Reitz in the hole. No out here in the top half of the third inning. Once again, score 4-0. That one just missing outside, so the count goes 2 balls and 1 strike. As the Rose Hill Slugger scored 4 runs in the top half of the second inning, all with 2 outs. Count is now 2 balls, 2 strikes. To designated hitter Jackson Dito. And here's Bolt Jackson's pitch. That one just missing outside. So the count will go full now at 3-2. Well, as Mr. Bolt Jackson, if I would have been the umpire, that you would have had a strikeout right there. That looked awful close. And here's the pitch. That one missing inside for ball 4. So Dito will be on with a base on balls. And that will bring up the third baseman, number 5, Adam Dice. Tice get a double. His first time into left field. Actually, it was a single, but then he hustled and turned it into a double. And scored on an error from Hibiki Uchi as he tried to throw him out at third base and threw it out into left of third base and ended up in left field foul territory area. So we have a runner on at first base with no outs here in the top half of the third inning. 4-0 score. There's Bolt Jackson's pitch missing high for ball 1. And here's the pitch. That one also missing high. 2-0 now the count. To Adam Tice. Dito on at first base as he reached on a walk. That one missing low for ball, and that gets away from. You can hear. Hibichi Uchi, correction. Was thinking about the pitcher. So the Dito moves over to second base, and the count is 3-0 to Tice. That one missing for ball 4. So 2 straight walks by Boat Jackson. Puts runners on at first and second with no outs. And he'll bring up the center fielder, number 31, Will Reitz. Reitz came in batting .294 for the Sluggers. And here tonight he is 1 for 1 as he got a base hit in the second inning, also scored a run. 1 ball, no strikes now to Reitz. And no outs here in the top half of the third. That one in there for strike 1. That will even up the count now at 1 ball and 1 strike. Once again, I was saying that the Rebels will be away from home tomorrow and Sunday. We'll have those games for you. Both game times are set for 7 p.m. I'll be doing the play-by-play, and our color commentator will be Mark Carvala. That one hit hard to the third base side. That's going to be foul. Counts 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now to Will Reitz. Riley at third base. Defensively, Brotman at short, Ross at second, and Andrews at first. And here's Boat Jackson's pitch. That one hit hard in between the gap between third and short. Coming in is Corper. He's going to be throwing it home as Dito goes to, comes in and scores. Attempting to go to third base was Thies, and he gets thrown out at third base by Uchi. So Reitz records his second hit of the game and an RBI, which scores Dito from second base. And we have a 2-5 play for out number 1 on Thies. It's going to bring up the left fielder, number 15, Kelsey Weems. So Weems is now up there with 1 down and a runner on at first base. The score now 5-0 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. Here's the pitch. That one, check swing. That's going to be fouled into the stands area. So the count goes to 1 strike. Correction, that should be strike 2. 0-2 the count is the count. Breaking ball lifted up into left field. Corper moves back, makes the catch for out number 2. Going back to first base will be Reitz, as there is now 2 down here in the top half of the 3rd inning. With the score 5-0 in favor of the Sluggers, that's going to bring up the shortstop, number 11, Matt Johnson. Throw over to first base, and safely in is Reitz. That one right across the knees for strike 1. So no balls, 1 strike. That one just missing outside. That will even up the count now at 1-1. Once again, we want to thank you very much for joining us. Don't forget to call your friends and family members. A swing and a miss there by Johnson. And the count goes to 1-2 strikes. We do have 2 down here in the top half of the 3rd inning with the runner on at first base. 5-0 the score in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. There goes the runner at the second. That one hit hard along the third base side. It's going to be foul. As Riley stuck his glove out, but was well right of him in foul territory. So moving back to first base will be Will Reitz. And the count stays at 1-2 strikes. That ball hit hard there by Johnson. Just went foul. That one into the ground. There's Uchi's throw down to second base, and nice job there by the second baseman for the Newton Rebels, Lachlan Ross, as he scooped that up and just waited for the runner to come sliding into him, and that is the 3rd out. So a 2-4 put out for the 3rd out. Top half of the 3rd inning for the Rose Hill Sluggers. They score 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 2.5 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 5 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels Baseball. This is Frank Martinez, your play-by-play announcer, while Chad Fry's out doing some paperwork. Going to bring up here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning the right fielder number 23, Joey Martinez. On deck is center fielder number 11, Andrew Patton, and then Hibiki Uchi in the hole. We'll finally get our first look at Andrew Patton as he's second in line here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. So Tanner Olmstead starting his 3rd inning of work. First pitch is called strike 1, a swing and a miss there by Martinez. Martinez comes in batting .333. That one missing high and outside for ball 1. That will even up the count at 1-1. Martinez is a Played in 18 games, has been up the bat 54 times, has 18 hits. That one fouled off to the left-hand side. He has scored 16 runs and has a total of 15 RBIs, along with 2 home runs. 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one fouled off there by Martinez. So the count stays at 1-2. We are in the bottom half of the third inning. The score 5-0 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. That one hit hard to the shortstop. Johnson goes over to first to Kosis for the putout. So a 6-3 putout for the first out here in the bottom half of this third inning. It's going to bring up the center fielder, number 16, Andrew Patton. And Andrew Patton is a 6'2", 205-pounder from Lake Erie University. He comes from Columbia, Missouri. First pitch from Olmsted is outside. Correction, that's the second pitch. First one was a strike. So the count will be now 1 ball, 1 strike. That one hit to the third baseman. Nice scoop there by the third baseman. Tice goes over to Kosis at first base for out number 2. So a 5-3 put out for the second out. And we'll bring up the catcher, number 15, Hibiki Uchi. Uchi comes in batting .333 as he's appeared in 12 ball games. That one hit to the second baseman, Hartman. Hartman goes over to Kosis for the third out. So a 4-3 put out and 1-2-3. The Rebels go down for the third time here in the ball game. So the bottom half of the third inning for the Rebels, they scored no runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. At the end of 3 innings of play, it is the Rose Hill Sluggers 5 and the Newton Rebels 0. And we'll be right back. And we welcome you back to Newton Rebels baseball as we go to the top half of the fourth inning. The score is 5-0 in favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers. And leading off, or due up, I should say, for the Sluggers will be the shortstop, number 11, Matt Johnson. And back into the press box to do the play-by-play, Mr. Chad Fry.
Thank you, Frank.
We are in the top half of the fourth here.
Yes, we are, and we're not seeing the score that we want, but the solution here is twofold. Number one, the Rebels got to start playing some defense. And number two, they got to start seeing some pitches at the plate because it's been 3 up, 3 down for 3 innings. So here we go. Matt Johnson coming to the plate. He walked in his last appearance, that coming in the second. Pitch is up and in, and count goes to 1-0. And Jordan Bolt Jackson in for his second inning of work. Throw to first, not in time. And they'll bunt their way on with Matt Johnson. Mason Hartman coming to the plate, 0 for 1 with a walk in this ball game.
Well, once again there, Chad, Rose Hill showed their speed. A perfectly laid down bunt and was able to run it out.
And the talk over in the Rose Hill dugout in between half innings was about Hibiki Uchi and the fact that his arm to second has been dead on today, and it has not gone unnoticed by the guys wearing navy blue today. 1-0 the count now to Mason Hartman.
I think he's thrown out 2 guys there at second base.
Yes,
so far.
he has, and that's what they were talking about. As a matter of fact, they ended the last half inning with a caught stealing. Will Reitz was on his way over there, and on his way into the dugout, they were kind of razzing him. He's like, "Hey, I knew I was out. That throw was there." So, fly ball into right will fall foul, just foul. Martinez gave chase, but was not able to get underneath it, and the count will be 1-1.
Well, Martinez was really leaning towards center field there, and he's really playing a long ways from that line. He had to go a long ways, but luckily it was foul.
A 1-1 your count now on Mason Hartman. Throw over to first will chase Johnson back. We'll reset it at 1-1. Jackson set. Right down the middle, but that's going to be low, and the count will go to 2-1. Ground ball right back to Jackson. Throw to second, and they'll get the runner there. So Jackson will retire the lead runner. Hartman will be aboard on the fielder's choice, and Zach Baxley now coming to the plate. Baxley is 1 for 2 with a run scored in today's ball game.
That was almost a good double play there, but when Bo Jackson threw that to second base, Brotman, that was almost at his ankles.
Yep. Throw was low and really kind of took him out of a possible double play. Drops this one into left field, and there'll be runners at first and second. But that was the right thing to do, was to go to second and get the lead runner. So give him some credit for that. We move on to Hunter Gibson, who is 1 for 1 with a walk. Had a single and a stolen base in the first inning. Pitch is inside and low. Count will go to 1-0. Ground ball over towards first. They'll get the runner at second. They're looking for that pivot, but they're just not able to get it right now.
Well, that was a great play there by Lincoln Andrews at first base.
Yes,
and then
it was.
Covering with Brotman there, they were on the same page, and that was just a great throw.
So Gibson will be aboard on a fielder's choice, and Hartman will move to third, and that'll bring up Garrett Kosas. He grounded out to first in his last appearance, that coming in the second inning. He's also got a walk in this ball game. Took a little bit off of that pitch and was able to fool him enough to keep the bat on the shoulder and get the called strike for 0-1. Throw to first. Chases the runner back. Swing and a miss, and that will take the count to 0-2. There's 2 away. The count is 5-0 in favor of the Sluggers, and there's runners at the corners. Pitch is inside. It'll be a wild pitch that goes back to the screen, and a free run will cross. Gibson will move to second, so they'll have a runner in scoring position. And the Rebels now down by a touchdown, 6-0. Jackson takes a look at second. He'll come home. Swing and a miss. Will get the strikeout. First strikeout of the game for Jackson. Actually, the first strikeout of the game recorded against the Sluggers. 1 run will score on 2 hits. And there'll be a runner left as we head to the bottom of 4 with the Rebels down 6-zip. And, I mean, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, but it is what it is. The Rebels have gotten the ball out of the infield just once. That was on the first at bat of the game for them when Lachlan Ross flew out to right field. Otherwise, they've peppered the infield. Andrew Brotman has struck out in the second inning, and it's been 3 up, 3 down all the way through thanks to defensive play by the Sluggers. Ross, Riley, and Andrews due up here in the 4th. Want to thank our major sponsor for tonight, Shamrock Car Wash, sponsoring Newton Rebels baseball for 2020.
Well, Chad, unfortunately, that's kind of been a theme for the Rebels as they only had 1 hit in the last ball game that they played against Mulvane, and they finally scored 9 runs in the top half of the 6th inning as they were down 11-1. So they kind of got a theory of giving up the lead first and then having to come back, but you just can't give runs away, you know.
Yeah, and they've given their fair share away today.
Tonight, they sure have.
You know, in all honesty, they've probably given 5 of the 6 away.
Yep.
And you just cannot do that at any level of baseball and expect to win. Pitch comes inside after Ross shows a bunt, and it's 1-0. I made a comment earlier that I watched Coach pitch ball last night, and I feel like I'm still watching that defense today, and that's just that doesn't feel good. And I hate to say those things, but Rebs have got to get their house in order. 2-0 the count now. And ground ball deep in the hole at short. Leaping throw across the diamond, and that's going to roll towards the dugout. And he's going to head to second as it rolls under somebody's chair over there. And in case you're wondering, the official NBC rules are that you can virtually extend the dugout in order to have social distancing. So technically speaking, that went into the dugout. So it's a single and an error for Lachlan Ross. Nolan Riley at the plate now. He'll pop one foul back towards the screen. And that will be caught by Baxley. Well played by Baxley. And Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. He grounded out to short in his last at bat. So Rebs got one in scoring position, and they need to move him. Pitch is in the dirt. Well played by Baxley. And the count will go to 1-0. Pitch in the dirt again. And the count goes to 2-0. on Lincoln Andrews. Fouls this one down the third base side towards the batting cages down there, and the count goes to 2-1.
Well, I was going to give you a pitch count on Olmsted, but that pitch count hasn't moved in the last 2 pitches, so.
It is what it is. Fouls that one away towards the Babe Ruth field down the third base side, and the count goes to 2-2. Looking down at that batting cage reminds me I've been soft tossing my son down there the last couple of weeks, and when you work fundamentals, it shows up in ball games, folks. Ground ball down the first base line, and it'll stay fair. Just bounced right over the bag and into the glove of Kosas. It's 3 unassisted, but Lachlan Ross will advance to third, and Enzo Bonventre coming to the plate. He grounded out in his first appearance in this ball game, that coming in the second inning. That one just misses, hitting him on the noggin, and the count goes to 1-0.
Rebels need to get him across here. He stands 90 feet away.
And Enzo inside outs one, pops it up a little bit, and that's going to be fielded cleanly by Johnson over at short, and that'll end the Rebel threat. No runs, 1 hit. An error, and runner left will head to the top of 5. Rebels down by 6. We'll take a moment here. I want to thank the host families we have today or this year. We thank Connie Miller, Joe Pedlow, Brent and Michelle Kaufman, who's also sponsored the Rebels through their Business Roofing Services Unlimited. Also want to thank Robin and Christopher Eshelman, along with Aaron, who's a player for us, hosting folks this year. Tammy Schmidt, Chad and Joni Considine, and Zach Bravo, also a player for us this year, hosting members of the Newton Rebels to help make this baseball season possible. Jordan Bolt Jackson coming to the plate now, or coming to the mound, sorry, to start the 5th. I believe this will be his 3rd inning of work. And due up will be Dieter, Thies, and Reitz. And Dieter walked in his last appearance, then later scored, that coming in the 3rd. Jackson delivers and gets a pop foul that'll go out of play.
But to show you the difference between the pitchers right now, Olmsted for Rose Hill has only thrown 45 pitches in 3 innings. And then just this is the 3rd inning for Bolt Jackson, and he's already thrown 37.
Yeah.
In just 2 innings.
Breaking ball will be ball 1. It's a 1-1 count. That equates to one team being patient and the other not, as well as all the hits they've been able to put together and the free outs they've been given by those errors. 2-1 the count after bouncing one back to the backstop. Jackson will step off.
Mr. Carve, could you adjust our camera up there just zooming in and out. It's going right on the fence. There you go.
Pop foul, out of play.
Thank you.
Two and two the count. We'll stay at 2 and 2 as he got a piece of that ball. Bouncing ball foul into the home dugout. Count stays at 2 and 2. Pop fly, foul territory, chase being given by a host of Rebels. And no one able to actually make the catch despite Riley giving it quite the try.
Yeah, you had Riley, Brotman, and Corper there, and nobody could get to the ball. Riley had the best chance and just fell over his head there.
Yeah, he made a diving stab at it but was unable to make the grab. A for effort. Pitch in the dirt. Count will go to full. So full count now on Deedle, and he will work his way to the walk. Pitch in the dirt. Adam Thies coming to the plate. He's had a walk in his last appearance. He had a hit and a run scored in the second. None away. There's a runner at first. Strike one, the call. Fly ball towards left. Corper will not make the play. It'll end up bouncing to the wall. Throw comes to the cutoff man. That'll be a double for Thies.
That's his second double of the ball game.
Yes, it is. Will Reitz coming to the plate.
That's going to be it for Bolt Jackson as we have somebody else coming in. I'll tell you who that is in just a second.
Probably not the evening that Bolt Jackson was envisioning today, but he wasn't necessarily dealt a very strong hand today either.
Chandler Hinkleman coming on the pitch.
And Chandler Hinkleman not being dealt an overly strong hand at the moment either.
I'll give you the final numbers here for Bolt Jackson. He went 2 innings, gave up 4 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned runs, 3 base on balls, 1 strikeout as he faced 11 batters. And those 2 runners that are on base will be charged to him if they do score.
Chandler Hinkleman, 6 foot, 240 pounds, out of Tabor College. Sophomore there. Calls Valley Center his home. I drove by Tabor College earlier today. Was up in Marion County for a little business.
And Hinkleman has appeared in 6 ball games, has gone 14 2/3 innings, has given up 18 hits, 10 runs, 6 earned runs, 2 base on balls, and has struck out 15. He has got a 1-0 record, and he comes in with a 3.68 ERA. And you gave his vitals, didn't you?
Yes,
Yeah,
I did.
I thought you did. So he'll be coming in relief here in the top half of the 5th for Jordan Boat Jackson. Scores what, 6-0 now?
Yes, it is.
In favor of the Rose Hill Sluggers.
And as a reliever, it's a real test of the mettle when you come in and you've got not 1 but 2 runners in scoring position. None away. He's got a big job ahead of him right here. Reeds had a RBI single in the 3rd, reached on an error in the 2nd, and turned that error into a run scored. Off the top of Uchi's helmet and back to the screen, it's strike 1. Pops him up on the infield. That'll be caught. Pardon. Pardon me. That'll be caught by Ross. A little water went down the wrong way.
I wasn't fast enough on that button, was I?
That's okay.
Well, Hinkleman did a good job there. He came in, did exactly what he needed to do, and that's get an out.
And Kelsey Weems now at the plate. 0-1. Swing and a miss. We'll go to 0-2. Uchi will block that ball in the dust. And count will move to 1-2. And runners staying at 2nd and 3rd. We've got 1 away here. Curveball gets the swinging strike. Excellent pitch by Chandler Hinkleman.
Well, you could really, I'm standing right behind the home plate here. Boy, you can really see that ball working.
I think that thing broke about as far as I am tall. It just, man, that was gorgeous. Matt Johnson now coming to the plate. Had an infield hit in the 4th, walked and later scored in that 2nd inning. Swing and a miss to open the at bat, and the count will go to 0-1. Oof. That pitch just misses on the outside corner. Count goes to 1-1. Ground ball towards short. Throw to first in time. And that'll retire the side. Great throw by Brotman. And dang howdy if Hinkleman didn't wiggle himself out of a jam. No runs, 2 hits. I'm sorry, 1 hit. No errors and 2 runners left. Hinkleman came in with none away and runners at 2nd and 3rd and was able to get out of it with no damage.
Well, that now the Rebels need to respond to them and start putting some hits out there on the board, and then hopefully we score some runs to get right back into the ball game, being down 6-0.
Yep, and how to eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. So a run or 2 right here is that 1 bite the Rebels need to start getting back at it. Hinkleman showed a little bit of guts right there, and hopefully that can help us start picking up a little momentum. Tyner Olmsted is going to come in to work the bottom of the fifth, and due up is Corper, Brotman, and Martinez.
I was noticing quite a difference on the defense here for the Newton Rebels, as Ross is normally plays third base. He's playing second base tonight, and moved Riley over to third, in which Riley, if Ross is not playing third, Riley normally does. So, of course, the two new guys that we have in.
Yeah, I think that probably led to quite a bit of the defensive alignment that we've seen today.
Mm-hmm.
So Carl Corper takes strike one. And this one will be low and away. Swing and a miss. And that'll set it at 2-2. Well hit, ball will go foul.
We got some wood on that one, didn't he?
Yep.
Yep.
Called third strike on the outside corner.
And I think Corper knew it. He kinda
Yeah.
just stood there and put his head down.
Yeah, that reaction says he knew it. It's a pitch that you can't really do much with if you swing at it, but with two strikes on you, you got to. And so it's a no-win situation for Corper. Andrew Brotman coming to the plate, strikeout victim in the second. Coincidentally, there's only been 2 strikeouts recorded in this game by Olmsted. We're here in the fifth. Brotman will face an 0-1 count. Fouls one back to the screen, and the count will go to 0-2. Wounded duck into right field will fall inside the line. Wounded or not, that's a hit.
Good at bat there for Brotman.
Yes, he fought that ball off and was able to plink it right down inside the line. And the Rebels have one aboard with one away. Joey Martinez coming to the plate. Martinez grounded out in the third, his only appearance so far in this ball game. And that'll be a hit. He'll dump that one into shallow center field. And these last 2 hits are proof positive that it's not necessarily how hard you hit the ball, but where you put it.
And one thing about it, Joey Martinez likes that first pitch. He did the same thing in the third inning. And the first pitch, he drove it to the shortstop and was taken out. But this time he gets a base hit over the shortstop's head.
So Rebs have a little something cooking here. First and second are the runners, Joey Martinez and Andrew Brotman. And Patton now coming to the plate. Ball one will be issued. Patton grounded out to third in his last appearance. Takes ball 2, just a little low.
You might have been down doing some other work, but Patton is a 6'2", 205-pounder from Lake Erie University. Columbia, Missouri is his hometown.
Swing and a miss coming from Patton, and it's 2-1. One of 2 new faces in the lineup today. And this would be a great time for his first hit wearing the Rebel red. Swing and a miss. Throw down to first. Martinez back just in time. And the count goes to 2-2.
Good throw down there by Zach Baxley, but not in time.
He'll step back towards second. That'll chase the runners back. 2-2 count. Pitch comes in inside, and that's a called third strike. I thought that was also high, but I'm up here, he's down there. Hibiki Uchi now coming to the plate. There's 2 away. And Mr. Hustle, all due respects to Pete Rose, Mr. Hustle now coming to the plate. Grounded out to second base in his last appearance. He's going to send one right back up the middle. That's going to get through, and that's going to score a run. RBI single for Hibiki Uchi. As Andrew Broadman was on his horse and scoring from second base. And there's again runners at first and second. There's 2 away. And the Rebs get one back. It's 6-1 now here in the 5th. Lachlan Ross coming to the plate. He singled in his last appearance, made it all the way to third before that inning came to a close. Called strike inside. And the count is 0-1. He'll reach for one. This will head towards second, and the throw to first. 4-3. Rebs get one back. 1 run on 3 hits. No errors. 2 runners left, and we'll head to the 6th with the Rebels down by 5. Want to thank Realty Connections, Boston Insurance, Roofing Services Unlimited, Ray Roofing, Dr. Brett Roofs, DDS. Also want to thank Pouch Enterprises, Peyton Paw at Law, and a host of other Rebel sponsors who have helped make this baseball season possible. We got one more week left of Newton Recreation Commission baseball here at Centennial Park and Ash Street Park. And then their season is over. The little guys playing an abbreviated rec season this year due to COVID-19. To date, there's only been about 2 cancellations in rec league ball. The Rebs have seen a couple games canceled due to COVID-19 exposures for other ball clubs. It's the world we live in. And though I doubt he's watching, I want to welcome my uncle home from the hospital after his battle with COVID-19. So glad to see you home. Mason Hartman now coming to the plate for the Sluggers. Reached on a fielder's choice in his last at bat. That coming in the 4th inning. He then parlayed that into a run. Hinkleman will deliver strike 1 just over the front knee, and the count will go to 0-1. Pitch is in the dirt. That pitch comes inside just above the hands, and the count will go to 2-1. 3-1 as that one bounces in the dirt. Three and one count. Ground ball towards third, charged hard to throw to first in time. Nice play by Nolan Riley. And Zach Baxley now coming to the plate. Had a single in the fourth, a double in the second, which he parlayed into a run. Hard hit ball will drop just inside the line on the left field side. Throw coming to second will not be in time, and that'll be a double for Zach Baxley. Hunter Gibson now coming to the plate.
Well, that was Baxley's second double of the ball game, and Chad, he did exactly what I used to teach in baseball, and that is I always ask the kids, how do you make a double? And I said, that's how fast you run the first base, whether you can make a double.
Yep.
It's not how fast you run from first to second.
Yes, that is correct. If you take off like a shot, you've got a chance. If you lollygag, you don't. 1-0 the count after that bounces in the dirt. That's a lesson that my son learned the other night. He took off from second to third like a bat out of Hades, and the coach just waved him around for his first run of the year, and the kiddo was standing there going, how'd I do that? I said, well, you took off from second, and you didn't lollygag around. Fly ball into center field should be caught and will be caught. Andrew Patton camping underneath that ball. And we'll keep the runner at second. Now Garrett Kosas coming to the plate. He struck out in his last at bat.
And Patton did a great job of throwing that ball in, and he hit the cutoff man. Didn't try to throw it to third base. He hit the cutoff man to where, in case we needed to throw to second, he could.
Took a little bit off that pitch. It was high and away. And Kosas will let it go by for ball one. Again, runner in scoring position at second base. There's two out. Hinkleman will step off. Ground ball will go foul. One and one the count. Takes a look at that runner at second and will step towards second. And we'll leave it at 1-1. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. One and two will be the count again as we reset for action. Ground ball, foul territory. Weakly down the first base side. 2-2 the count. Pitch will miss away and maybe a little high. Count goes to full. Nobody was covering, or they could have had a free out. He stepped off and towards second, and he had Baxley caught in no man's land, but there was nobody behind him to get the ball to. Pops up into center field. Patton will camp underneath it and make the grab. And it's no runs on one hit, no errors, and a runner left.
It takes a score at the end of 5.5 to the Sluggers 6 and the Rebels 1.
Rebels need to try and get one or two more back right here. We enter the bottom of 6. Tanner Olmsted still on the mound for the Sluggers, and why not when you've got a 5-run lead and haven't really given up a whole lot of offense. It makes sense to put him back out there and see if he's got another inning in him.
Well, he gave up 1 hit in 4 innings, and he gave up 3 hits the last inning, so he does have 62 pitches here so far in the ball game.
Nolan Riley, Lincoln Andrews, and Enzo Bonventre due up at the plate for the Rebs. One and 0 will start the at bat. Strike will be called. 1-1. Pop fly into center field, and that will be caught. Reitz making the play. Lincoln Andrews now at the plate. He is 0 for 2. He has grounded out twice in this ball game. Takes ball 1 to open the at bat. Evens the count at 1-1. Ground ball towards second. 4-3 if you're scoring at home. Hartman just slides right over and gobbles that ball right up. Enzo Bonventre coming to the plate. He is 0 for 2. He's hit the ball to shortstop twice in this ball game. Back-to-back fastballs, and we've got a 1-1 count on Bonventre. Tries to bust him inside, and Bonventre will foul this one away, and the count will go to 1-2. Pitch is low and away, and the count goes to 2-2.
That was actually a really good pitch there by Tanner Olmstead as he tried to throw Bonventre outside to have him chase something.
A little too far outside again, and the count goes to full. Ground ball towards short. Throw to first in time. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. We'll head to the top of 7 with the Rebels down by 5.
One last time. For your new Rebels walking around for a 50-50 wrap.
Hinkleman will come on for another inning of work. He's faced 7 batters. He's retired 6 of them. Due up will be Jackson Deedle, Adam Thies, and Will Reitz.
I do have some other scores in the Sunflower League. Right now, the Sunflower Seeds are up 7-1 over the Derby Twins in the bottom half of the 7th inning. And also in the top half of the 6th inning, we have Hutchison leading the Great Bend Batcats 4-2.
So Jackson Deedle now coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1 with 2 walks and a run scored. Fouls this one away. Pops him up. In foul territory, and that ball will be caught in foul territory. Lincoln Andrews making the play right in front of the Rose Hill dugout. Adam Thies now coming to the plate. 2 for 2 with a walk, a run scored, and both hits were doubles. 1-0 to open the at-bat. Two and 0 count. Ground ball right back to Hinkleman. The throw to first in time. 1-3, and we'll go to Will Reitz. Reitz is 1 for 3 with a run scored. He reached on an error in the second that he turned into a run. He'll face Hinkleman for the second time today. 1-0 as the pitch is downstairs. Called strike, pitch on the inside corner. Pitch is upstairs, just a little bit and inside, and the count will go to 2-1. Two and two. 2 away here in the 7th. Pops him up in foul territory down the first base side, and that ball will be caught. Andrews grabbing that one over his shoulder. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time to get your tickets out.
And that's the first time in the ball game, Chad, that they've gone 1, 2, 3.
No better time than now, right? No better time than the next 2 innings as well.
Yep.
So if you happen to be in the Harvey County area over the weekend, something fun that you might want to do is the Harvey County Remote Control Club anniversary. We'll be out at East Park tomorrow. Their anniversary is for the facility they've been building at East Park, and they'll have RC airplanes, crawlers, drone racing, the whole 9 yards. They'll be going at it pretty much all day tomorrow, and then they'll have crawler races on Sunday evening starting at about 5 o'clock. So something to do over the weekend, something a little different that could be quite a bit of fun.
Looks like we're going to have a new pitcher now for Rose Hill. Number 28 coming in to pitch, which is Thomas McNabb. He's a left-handed thrower, 6'1", 160 pounder from Conway, Arkansas. We'll give you the final numbers for Olmsted.
As he's looking up those numbers, Corper, Brotman, and Martinez will be due up for the Rebels to face McNabb here in the 7th.
Final numbers for Olmsted. He went 6 innings, gave up 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned run, struck out 3, and had faced 22 batters. No base on balls. Wow.
Yeah. Thomas McNabb has a 2-0 record. He's pitched in 5 games. He's got himself a 2.25 ERA in 8 innings, striking out 11, walking 5. First pitch is well above the head of Connor Corper. And as tall as I think Mr. Corper is, he would have had to be a minute ball for that to be a strike. Swing and a miss by Corper. In case you're curious, the Corper was also a pitcher at Washington University. And there'll be his first hit in a Rebel uniform. Dumps that one into left center field. And there's a runner aboard. Andrew Brotman coming to the plate. He had a single in his last at bat, that coming in the 5th. He turned that into the only run the Rebels have scored so far in this ball game. He's 1 for 2 with a run scored. Takes ball 1. And we got a runner heading to second. Called a balk. So that should be a no pitch, and that means no count. Free base for Corper. He's now in scoring position. Pitch is low and away, and the count goes to 1-0.
And they Rose Hill does have somebody up and warming up in the bullpen, but unfortunately I can't see who it is.
Baxley will trot to the mound. That's a good spot to do that. You got a runner that just advanced to scoring position, and a pitcher who is showing some signs of turning a little bit wild. So kind of take a break and reset and get everybody a breath and see what you can do. Just missing upstairs is what you can do. Not a bad pitch, but out of the zone, and the count will go to 2-0.
Oh, no.
Oh, my. Line shot plucked right out of the air will end up being a double play. Unassisted double play for Matt Johnson over there at shortstop.
We got number 23, Joey Martinez.
Can't get much more unluckier than that. That is if you're in Rebel Red.
Yeah, Corper was taken off as soon as the ball was hit, and
Well, he's thinking scoring a run. I mean, and with the contact that was made, that's definitely a possibility. But unfortunately, Johnson was able to get to that ball before it got to the outfield. 1-0 the count now on Joey Martinez. Martinez singled in his last at bat. And he'll take ball 2, low and inside. Three and 0 the count now on Joey Martinez. Strike called. 3-1 now on Joey Martinez. Pitch back to the screen, and the count will go full. Ground ball back to the pitcher, who will make the tag as Martinez tries to make his way past him on down the first base side. So it's no runs on one hit, no errors, and nobody left. We head to the top of the 8th with the Rebels down by 5. And Ryan Nipfer is now coming into take on the mound duties.
Ryan is a 5'11", 200-pounder from Dakota State, a freshman, and his hometown is Derby, Kansas.
He's appeared in 3 games for the Rebels this year. He's only started 1 of those 3. Struck out 4 in 6 innings pitched, walked 10, and allowed 11 hits. His start came against the Wichita Grays. They had a victory for the Rebels. They won that game 10-5.
I do have the final numbers here for Hinkleman. He ended up going 3 innings, gave up 1 hit, and 1 strikeout as he faced 10 batters. A good outing there for Hinkleman.
Very good outing for Hinkleman.
Especially that first inning where he came in with runners on at second and third and no outs.
Yes, that was a gutsy moment right there, and one that he should be quite proud of. Due up to face Nipfer here will be the 8-9-1 hitters in Kelsey Weems, Matt Johnson, and Mason Hartman. That ear infection that I got started on yesterday is kind of bugging me this evening. That's where that cough is coming from. Gotta love those.
like to say hi to Ryan Nipfer's parents, Frank and Brenda Nipfer from Derby, Kansas.
Kelsey Weems will foul one away to open the at-bat. It'll be 0-1. Ground ball foul down the third base side. Count will go to 0-2. Just misses upstairs with a breaking ball. Was kind of hoping for the chaser, but is unable to get it, and the count is 1-2. Ground ball right back up the middle. 6-3 as it's well played by Andrew Brotwin. He had to grab that ball on the run and fire it quickly, and dare I say, for a moment, he looked a bit like Ozzie Smith out there. And the count is, or the runner is retired. There's one away here as we bring Matt Johnson to the plate. Johnson grounded out in his last at bat. He had an infield single in the fourth. 1-0 the count. Fly ball towards left field will go foul. Count is 1-1. Pitch is upstairs and the count goes to 2-1. Downstairs in the dirt, and the count will go to 3-1 on Matt Johnson. Nipfer will bounce this one right in front of Uchi. And there's a runner aboard with a walk. Mason Hartman coming to the plate. Hartman is 0 for 3 with a walk. Scored a run in the fourth after reaching on a fielder's choice. 1-0 the count as Nipfer will miss the zone. Nipfer will miss outside and maybe a shade on the high side, and the count will go to 2-0. Two and one the count now to with Nipfer on the mound. Hartman fouling that one down the first base side, well out of play. Pitch comes inside, and we go to 3-1.
I think he called a
balk.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure what he's calling on these guys. He's done it to both pitchers now. But he's calling the box. Called strike on the inside half of the plate. Count goes to 2-2. Ground ball towards second will be Fielded by Ross and flipped to Andrews. They'll be 2 away. Johnson will advance on the fielder's choice, and Zach Baxley coming to the plate.
Well, I was hoping we'd get out of the inning without having to face Baxley because he's a very dangerous batter.
He has been a Rebel killer tonight. He has 3 hits in this ball game, 2 of them for extra innings. Fly ball toward center field will be tracked down by Patton. And even though we had to face him, we were able to retire him. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 runner left, and we'll head to the bottom of the 8th with the Rebels down by 5.
Same pitcher, it's that Thomas McNabb.
Thomas McNabb. Retired the Rebels in order. With the help of that lucky double play ball by Andrew Brotman. Due up are Patton, Uchi, and Ross. So we'll start the 8th with Andrew Patton. He is 0 for 2, striking out in his last appearance, grounding out in the 3rd. We're approaching the 9 o'clock hour here in Newton, Kansas. Away and in the dirt, 1-0. Two and 0. This is away, and that was a tough pitch right there, but it's let go by for ball 3, apparently just missing that outside corner. 3-0 your count now on Patton. Pitch is in the dirt, and that'll be a walk for Andrew Patton. And that'll bring up Hibiki Uchi. Uchi had a hit and an RBI in his last appearance, that coming in the 5th.
And Chad, that's only the 2nd time that the Rebels have had the leadoff batter on base.
That is correct. They've done it in back-to-back innings.
Mm-hmm.
Uchi will foul this one into the parking lot. 84 degrees right now. Swing and a miss. Virtually no wind here at the ballpark. A rarity for this part of Kansas. And Uchi has a 0-2 count to work on. That will be a wild pitch. Uchi stays alive as Patton heads to second base. Runner in scoring position. The count will be 1-2, and there's none away. Ground ball foul. Well fielded by Coach Brett Clark. Count remains 1-2. Fouls this one down the first base side and out of play. And the count is going to stay at 1-2. Pitch is away. Uchi lays off, and the count stays or heads to 2-2. Count now even. Runner at second, none away. Goes out and reaches for one. It dribbles down the first base side, and he's going to be on. Mr. Hustle is going to beat that. And that is an infield single for Hibiki Uchi.
Yeah, the first baseman coach has had to come in to get that ball, and as that grass killed it, and nobody was covering first base, and Uchi hustled down and beat it out for a base hit.
He turned to make the tag, and it was too late. Uchi was already past him. So hustle all the way, and there's none away. Runners at the corners. Lachlan Ross at the plate. He is 1 for 3 today. Breaking ball will be called strike one. Inside, maybe a little low, and the count will go to even at 1-1.
Uchi took a little bit bigger lead that time. I thought he might be going, but
right here, we just need to get a ball put in play and a run across. Oh, he's testing his partner in crime there. Baxley was thinking about throwing to first after that pitch took him off the plate. And Uchi was aggressive. 2-1. Uchi still at first. Ground ball towards short. 6-4. And they will get Uchi, and that's it. Run will score. Andrew Patton will score on the fielder's choice by Lachlan Ross. Uchi's out at second. We have a runner at first, one away, and Nolan Riley coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3 in this ball game, and now we're going to have a runner heading to second on another balk. And folks, I would love to tell you what it is he's seeing. I'm not seeing it.
I have not, unless it's
double clutch.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Is he double clutching or what? He's not coming set.
He's not coming set. That's what I was going to
say. So they're quick pitching, and he's calling it. So there you go. Pitch is away, and the count is 1-0. Runner in scoring position again for the Rebs. And it's a 1-0 count to Nolan Riley, who is looking for his first hit of the game right here. And that's going to be the first hit of the game for him. Right back up the middle. They'll hold the runner at third. There'll be runners at the corners after the single by Nolan Riley. That was a pretty well hit baseball.
Yeah, Will Reitz at center field came up with the ball quickly, And I think that was a smart play of holding Ross up at third base.
Yes, it was a combination of him getting to the ball quickly and the ball getting quickly to him, because that was very well hit. And with one away, there's runners at the corners, and Lincoln Andrews coming to the plate. He is 0 for 3. Swing and a miss by Lincoln Andrews. Rebs trailing 6-2 in this ball game. Pitch tails away. Well played by Baxley at catcher, and count will go to 1-1. Tails away and high, and the count goes to 2-1.
And Andrews, so far here in the season, he's got 4 home runs with 23 RBIs. So there is ducks on the pond for him, as the score is 6-2 in favor of the Sluggers. But the Rebels are threatening here.
We just need anything that's going to push that run across from 90 feet away. Literally anything. Swing and a miss, and the count will go to 2-2. Actually, he got a piece of that ball. 2-2 count. Well outside and in the dirt. Baxley able to keep that ball in his glove and in front of him. That keeps the runner at third.
Very good defensive player there back behind the home plate.
Fly ball into left. He misplayed that ball. It is down on the ground. That's going to score at least one. They're going to hold the runner at third.
That ball just kept tailing on the outfielder there. Weems wasn't able to get to it.
Well hit baseball for Lincoln Andrews. Riley will be the runner that holds at third. Ross will be the runner that comes home. And the Rebs are right back in this ball game now. It's 6-3, and the tying run will be at the plate with one away.
Well, this is what the Rebels have been doing all season long. They fall behind, and then they finally get a wake-up call, and they've been able to put some cricket numbers, like we call it, and they've got 2 more guys in scoring position here that could very easily make it 6-5 if they can find a base hit here. And guess who's up?
Enzo the Boom Bonventre. But hey, we need to call some things for what they are here too, Frank. They literally gave away 4 runs in the second inning. You take those 4 off the board, we're looking at a 3-2 ball game, and they're ahead. So the comebacks are nice, but it's a shame they're necessary.
Yeah.
Right? So.
And that's not this ball game.
Yeah, no, I hear you. It's all the time, and that's something we got to work at getting cleaned up. Enzo Bonventre is coming to the plate at 0 for 3. He's gone to shortstop in every one of his at bats. This time he goes the other way, foul territory, deep down the first baseline. 0-1 the count. And once again, we've got 2 ducks on the pond, so we just need a base hit. I mean, just anything that will get another run across right now is what we're looking for. Enzo takes one in his eyes, and the count goes to 1-1. Swing and a miss, 1-2. And Enzo is down on strikes. Tough pitch right there. And tough night for Enzo Bonventre. And that'll leave it to Carl Corper to try and get a run across. He had a single in his last appearance, that coming in the 7th. He's 1 for 3 overall. Check swing, called strike. 0-1 the count. Pitch tails away. Baxley again making a save and keeping a run at third. 1-1 your count. Tails away from Corper. 2-1 your count. Three and one as Olmsted will miss low. There's 2 away here. Runners at second and third. Broke the cardinal rule of baseball. Don't head to first until the umpire tells you to go. Result is a full count. Well hit ball into right. Will be caught out in right field by Gibson. That had a shot at scoring a pair, but the end result is that the Rebs score 2 runs on 3 hits, no errors, and 2 runners left. But they're back in the ball game. It's 6-3 as we head to the top of the 9th.
Yeah, great job there by the Rebels and scoring 2 runs here, but we did leave some ducks on the pond, and with Bonventre, that would be the guy that you would want up in that situation. Just did not happen this time. Sometimes you win them, and sometimes you lose them. The battles I'm talking about.
Well, hey, a career batting average of 300 puts you in the Hall of Fame, right? That means you're only hitting the ball less than a third of the time. So it's just the way it is. Baseball is can be a frustrating game. So due up here in the 9th will be Hunter Gibson, Garrett Kosis, and Jackson Dieter. Ryan Nipfer is back out to work the 9th here for the Rebs. He came on to work the 8th and faced 4 batters, retired 3 of the 4. Ended up with a runner at third before he was able to shut things down after a fly ball. Hunter Gibson is 1 for 3 with a walk today. Strike call. That one coming just above the thigh, and it's an 0-1 count. Fly ball into center field. And that ball is
I
gone.
believe it is, yep.
So Rebs back down by 4. Garrett Kosis will be coming to the plate. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Want to know the count after Nipfer misses high and away. Comes inside and low, and the count goes to 2-0. Swing and a miss. Count is 2-1. Fly ball towards left, deep,
That's gone.
and we have back-to-back dingers. This is the heart of the order that Nipfer is facing right now. Jackson Teetle now coming to the plate. He's 0 for 2. He's got 2 walks and a run scored today. And Brett Clark is going to make a pitching change.
And I think it's going to be Rocco, number 12. Armini coming in. He pitched on Wednesday night also.
6'4", 205 pounds out of Moore Park College. He's a freshman. Comes from Topanga, California. He's 2-1 on the year with a 2.38 ERA. He's appeared in 7 games, starting 1 of those. He's pitched a total of 11 1/3, striking out 9, walking 4, and allowing 7 hits. Also played a little first base this year. He did that against the Grays. Has 1 appearance at the plate. That coming from that game. He struck out in that appearance. Rebs back down by 5. They battled their way back into this thing. And then the back-to-back home runs have changed the complexion of this ball game. Again, that 4-run second inning was what led the Rebs to trail for much of the night. Jackson Deedle now striding to the plate. Pops him up on the infield. Brotman will camp underneath it and make the grab. Adam Feast now coming to the plate. He's got 2 doubles in this ball game. He's 2 for 3 with a run scored and a walk and a stolen base. first offering from Rocco, and the count will be 1-0. Pitch comes inside, too far inside, but called a strike, and it's 2-1. Ground drops this one into shallow center field, and that's a single.
And Face, when he rounds that bag, he rounds it all the way. He went about a third of the way past first base before he headed back on that.
He is very aggressive on the base paths. Oh, 1 now your count on Will Reitz. Runner at first, 1 away. Rebs down by 5. And that's a hit batter. The runner was going, but it's all mooted as he got hit on the thigh.
Took away a stolen base because he was going to be there.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. And that'll bring up Kelsey Weems, who is 0 for 4 in this ball game. Fly ball towards center will be caught. Patton underneath it gets the ball into the infield quickly, and runners won't go anywhere. We'll have 2 away with runners at first and second. Pitch is off the plate, low. And the count is 1-0. This right on the front knee, and the count will be even at 1-1. There's 2 away, runners at first and second. Line shot will head to left field. Throw is going to come into the plate. Not in time. Throw to second in time.
Yep. Great job.
The run will score. Johnson will be credited with a single and an RBI. Thies is the runner at home. Johnson will be out at second. And that's 3 runs on 3 hits. No errors. And a runner will be left. We head to the bottom of 9. Rebels down 9-3.
Great heads-up play there by Hibiki Uchi, who threw that all down to second base to get Johnson on the put out there.
He's got a habit of throwing strikes to second, doesn't he?
Yes, he does. Well, the 9-3, and the Rebels have made a habit of coming back. So let's see if they can do it here in the 9th inning. Of course, you don't want to handcuff yourself and leave it towards the last inning, but it is what it is.
This is the very situation why the home team bats second, right here. So Andrew Brotman, Joey Martinez, and Andrew Patton due up at the plate for the Rebels here in the 9th.
And we're going to have a new pitcher. It looks like it's going to be number 38. Looks like Jake Brown.
So Jake Brown, 6'1", 185 pounds out of Hutch. He's pitched in 3 games so far, 6.2 innings. He's struck out 4, walked 2. Delivers ball 1 inside to Andrew Brotman. He does not have a decision yet this year. But if they keep bringing him in situations like this, he won't get one.
And I wish I could give you the final numbers on Thomas McNabb, but they've given him Olmsted all the credit for 8 innings instead of 7, because McNabb came in the 7th inning.
Yes, he did. Ground ball will go foul down the third baseline. One and two the count. Pitch is low and away. Count is 2-2. Ground ball towards second will be fielded well. Hartman making the throw to Kosas to retire Brotman. Joey Martinez now coming to the plate. 1 for 3. Strike called. Pops one foul. Out of play. Oh, 2 count now to Joey Martinez. And he'll drop this one in for a hit. So Rebs have one aboard, and Andrew Patton coming to the plate. Reached on a walk in his last at bat, turned that into a run, that coming in the 8th. And he's 0 for 2. Thigh-high fastball called a strike. One and one as this ball tails away, and it's going to be evens. Runners at first, and there's one away. Rebs have been out hit 12-9 in this ball game. Wild pitch will allow Martinez to head to second. Baxley just lost that ball and he couldn't find it. 2-1 the count now. Strike call inside corner. 2-2 now. Pitch tails inside and the count will go full. And the walk will be drawn by Andrew Patton. And Hibiki Uchi coming to the plate. He is 2 for 3, getting hits in both of his most recent at-bats, including that impressive infield single, that hustle play in the 8th. Fouls this one away. Count goes to 0-1. There's runners at first and second with 1 away.
Well, Hibiki Uchi's got very good control of that bat with the shortstop holding the second baseman on. He's got a big hole between third and short.
Yes, he does. Be nice if he could put something in it.
Oh, that almost hit him.
It
Yeah,
did hit him.
Mm-hmm.
So Uchi now aboard as he wears one. And the bases are juiced for Lachlan Ross. Ross reached on a fielder's choice in the 8th. Singled for his only hit of the game in the 4th. He did parlay that fielder's choice in the 8th into a run scored and an RBI. Rebs desperately need to push a run across, maybe 2. Called strike on the inside corner. Throw to first, not in time. Count goes to 0-2.
Hibiki Uchi comes up with a big old smile on his face.
Yep. Oh-2 count. Pitch is outside. Baxley tracks that one down, and the count goes to 1-2. Pops him up, foul and out of play. Line shot will score a run. That's a single. Well thrown ball keeps everybody kind of settled, but Martinez will come home, and Lachlan Ross will have the RBI. Uchi will move to second, Patton will move to third, and Nolan Riley now coming to the plate. He's 1 for 4. He had a single in his last appearance, that coming in the 8th. Rebs down 9-4. 1 away, and the bases are loaded.
That one gets away. And
That
catcher don't
gets
have,
away, and he can't find it, and that's going to score a run. Uchi is going to be aggressive at third. But the wild pitch allows one to come home. 2 runners in scoring position now. Rebs down by 4.
and how big were those those 3 runs that we gave up in the 9th inning? 4 runs in the 2nd and 3 runs in the
Yep.
9th.
I have more consternation about that 2nd inning than I do the 9th.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, because they had 2 home runs.
Yeah, I mean, they earn
They
those.
earn those,
They earn
exactly.
those, man. Nolan Riley at the plate still. And the count will go evens at 1-1. At this level of baseball, unearned runs will kill you. They will absolutely kill you. Fly ball towards right. And that will be caught. Uchi will score.
Now batting for 21, Lincoln Andrews.
Well, that was a great job there by Hunter Gibson in right field, because I thought that was going to be in the gap, and Hunter really hustled after that to make that catch.
Yes, he did. Lincoln Andrews now coming to the plate. He had a double in his last appearance. That coming in the 8th. Rebs down by 3, and there's 2 down. Pops him up into foul territory into left, and that ball will be caught.
That's going to be it.
And that should be the ball game.
Final score, Sluggers 9, Heat 6. Thanks for coming out.
Sluggers win 9-6 as the Rebels drop one here. Feels very much like a game they gave away, but that's just kind of the way things happen once in a while. And Frank, my Rebel of the game, at least on the offensive side and to some extent the defensive side, is going to be Hibiki Uchi. Lots of hustle and a well-played ball game by him. He ended up 2 for 3 with an RBI and a run scored.
Yeah, and then but his hustle is, and not only that, but the way he handles the pitchers out there. I think he does a really good job of moving them inside and out, and he's just a real smart player. And but his hustle rubs off on people.
Yes, and he gave some great support to his pitchers by catching some guys stealing today too. And,
Yep.
and when you've got the other dugout talking about whether or not you should steal because of that guy behind the plate, that's a big deal.
Yep.
So there you go.
Our total numbers here for Rose Hill, they scored 9 runs on 12 hits and no errors. And for the Rebels, they scored 6 runs on 10 hits, and they're showing 2 errors, but I know we have more than that. I think there was 4 errors total. So that's the final numbers. Don't forget that the Newton Rebels will be in action on Saturday and Sunday away from Newton, as we will be playing in Wichita, Kansas at the Westside Athletic Field. We will be broadcasting those games on YouTube, and then we'll be back here, I believe, on Monday at 7 o'clock. I looked at the schedule, and the schedule didn't show a game for Monday, but Carv said that we do have a game Monday here, so it's usually a 4-game series, so you would think that would
Yes,
be
it is.
the play. So
See, I showed that game. Our schedule shows that game, and I had put that game in for Tuesday, July 14th. So we'll see how things shake down. Just so you know, everybody, if it is on Monday, I'll be a little late. I've got last week of my kids' ball games is this week. So I'll be late on Monday. And on Tuesday, well, that's City Commission, so I'm
Okay.
kind of out of commission.
all righty. All right, well, that will do it for us. Don't forget that we'll be in action tomorrow evening at 7 o'clock. We'll probably get on the air at 6:50. And everything worked here fine, so we're going to take a picture, make sure we know exactly how to hook it up. We tried three different ways before we got on the air, and we finally found the way that will do it. So
Yeah, it was a pleasure this evening, wasn't it, Frank?
yes, it was. So on behalf of everybody here, Newton Rebels, we thank you very much for joining in. Don't forget, join us tomorrow evening as the Newton Rebels will be taking on the Rose Hill Sluggers. Game time scheduled for 7 o'clock. We'll get on the air at 6:50. This is Frank Martinez along with our play-by-play announcer, Chad Fry. Wish you a good evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night. The final score, 9-6 in favor of Rose Hill here tonight.